Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing very, very well indeed. My name is Frank, and you join me in today's video here as we are going to be getting back onto some of the field dressing, really doing a bit of top dressing down today for some of our winter drilled crops. There's not many fields out there, but we need to get on with them anyway here because we're soon going to be getting back onto the fields there to get some cultivation work done, and I want to get all of this taken care of before we get to that stage. So that is why today you're going to be joining me as we're in the Agri Pro again. We've got a different trailer on the back. We've got the Eiffel Williams on the back today because all my other big trailers are full of bales or other fertilizer for the grassland. So we had to come pick up a few bags of something different, and we'll have a bit of a walk through that when we get back to the yard there, just to show you as we're going to put them into the spinner. We're heading up to Farm 2, up to Old Oak there, just to get these dropped off. Where hopefully, yeah, we've got about, what is it, 16, 17 acres to do up there. So we should have more than enough for that. But it'll just be nice to kind of get it all taken care of this morning here, and then we can I'm toying with the idea of getting a bit of land broken down actually, just to get ahead of the game there, really. Like I say, some of the heavier ground over at the new area out east there is in need of a little bit of TLC, just kind of sharpening up a bit there, so we may well go and do that. What we're going to do right now is a spin up here towards Lockdown Farm. Through we come. Love to see it. And yeah, we're gonna get going. As you can see, the weather is still good. Everything's still a little bit too cold though for us to do anything serious at the moment, so we're gonna have to hang on to that idea. Hopefully we'll get that kind of back end of this week, early next week there. We should be able to get some something in the ground. Most of our plowing work is done. I'm happy with how that's looking there. We just need to tick off that last box though of actually getting something done with our drilling, because soon we're gonna have to. We've got a lot of muck down on the ground already. We're going to have to put some more out soon just because we've got so much of the stuff. But then we're going to have to put a bit of nitrogen on the grassland just to really kick it along. Make sure it's all looking well. And hopefully it will be. And hopefully we don't have to worry about it from there on out. But yeah, that's going to be the next plan. But yeah, it's not going too badly. Just ticking along still on my own. I am beginning to think though, we'll go the long way around here. That's a bit sharp. I am beginning to think that I'm going to have to get some hired help here. Just get someone to drive a tractor for me, because some of the ground is a little bit heavy. I think you would classify it as man's land really, no longer boys' land around here. So it's plowed over heavy. I was hoping some of it would winter plow out nicely, but it hasn't really. It hasn't broken down as much as I would perhaps like it to have. So we need to get over there. I'm on front wheel steer here, so this JCB is not quite as responsive as it perhaps normally is. Get around there. So we need to think about that to make sure that we're covered, make sure that we're all good, and we just need to get that all set up and away. So all being well, we'll have to get the power harrow out, probably put that into the 77 I think, and let's take it away, because the 66 has the fertilizer spinner on. That's shortly going to have the it's going to actually have the sprayer on as well to prevent any of these weeds coming through in the grass, and we'll see how that all pans out. No spraying yet though, we're not quite there. But as you can see, the grass is starting to grow a little bit. It's showing signs of life at least as we come out of the winter, which is good. And yeah, hopefully we'll see that change sooner rather than later there. But we've just got to kind of get ourselves ticking through here. It's been raining quite a bit though recently, so it limits what we can do. Yeah, the cattle are kind of venturing out a little bit more now. They are choosing to spend more times outside, which is fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Hopefully that'll be a trend that will continue moving forward. No, we'll take this into the yard. And yeah, well, as you can see, there is a trailer there which has a whole load of nitrogen on wheels, but we haven't got nitrogen today. We've got something a little bit different there for the spring barley, just to give it a bit of a little bit more of an invigorating kick. That is 2010 on our right there, and that can be used for pretty much anything really, so we're sparing that one for right now. And what I'll do with this load, where can I park this thing? I don't know what we'll do. What I might do first of all, just get myself back into proper steering, something that I can actually get around the corner with there. That looks better. Perfect. And there you go. So you can see monstrously big bags on the back here. But we'll just get this all dropped off. Or you can put 4 on here. To be honest, that's about 4 ton. This Eiffel Williams doesn't really like to carry much more than that, so we'll not stress that out too much. Let's see what that's looking like. But we should be alright. We should be looking good. Oh, maybe go back. Yeah, we'll probably leave it around there just till we get these all hooked off. And then we should be okay. Take it back ever so slightly. Yes, we're out that hollow. We'll make that work, I'm sure. Okay, spin this around here. I think I ticked all the way through there. There we go. That's a bit more nimble. That's what we want to see. Perfect stuff. So a couple of the bits of the robot equipment have disappeared from our grasps really now. So we've lost the loader attached bale shredder. That's gone. The two of those that we had have actually, we just didn't they were just a bit too small, I think was the issue I found with them. For what we're using, a little bit cumbersome when we're trying to use big square bales. So we moved away from that. But we do still have down here the other big bale shredder and also the diet feeder. Now I'm hoping we're going to be, I'm trying to do some figures and some calculations to see if we can actually keep hold of the feeder. Now I think I mentioned that previously, I've been a McHale man for as long as I can remember. Ooh, easy, don't knock these over. But I think that might be about to change. I'm possibly looking into going for something along the lines of that big robot, because I can get rid of my straw choppers and can do it all in one hit there as well. That's the main reason behind it. So we're gonna have a look, see, we're gonna try and balance that out, see if it's gonna work financially for us, and see how we can kind of make that work play out. So it's certainly something that is going to be expensive. I think that thing's around 70 grand to buy brand new. The Keenans aren't cheap either. We've had that one for a while. It had about 4 years on it, I think, over there at Meadow Grove before we swapped it out. So yeah, it's done a lot of work. It's done an awful lot of work. And I mean, next to the telehandlers there, that's probably the next most commonly used bit of equipment I think we have on this farm here. It's used twice daily, so for sure it is getting a lot of graft out of it. But as you can see, we are putting in 2744 onto our ground here, which is a sulfur heavy mix of fertilizer. This is going to go onto our spring barrier to really kind of plaster it on a little bit. We're going to put it on quite heavily as well. We're going to really see that kick along through. We've only got the two fields up here. Those, what we don't use here, we're going to keep, and we're going to probably store away in that back shed opposite where the beans are, because we're going to try and get those used on the ground, which is out east. So once we get that worked over and drilled, we're going to try and get it stuck in there as well. So that should be pretty good. But yeah, I mean, look at the size of these bags. These are a little bit over a ton each, I do think. Another exactly a ton there. Pretty good bulking bags, I think, I would say. So yeah, let's get these all unloaded here, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so we're just taking it nice and steady with these guys here. We're just going to slowly lift them over. I need to go find my knife though. I haven't got that. I need something that I can rip open the bottom of the bags with. So I think there might be one in the... Oh, looks over here. No, it's not there. All right, take two. I'll go and find myself a knife from somewhere. I need to weld a combine cutter bar or cut the knife onto a bit of iron. That'll do it, and I'm sure we'll make something work. All right, so take two. Let's get this loaded up here slowly. Okay, gone the days where we just had when we were just on like a front loader from a tractor there, because they used to they didn't really have the hydraulic control on the front loader. So as your bags got lighter on the front there, they started to spring up on you, and it was all over the place. Telehandlers, you'll never have that problem, fortunately. So what we'll do, we're just going to roll with those two now, for two reasons. One, I think that's going to probably be more than enough for what we need, but two, I want to make sure that the ground's traveling well. It looks like it's going to, it looks like it's fairly dry, but you never can be too sure the first time you go out there. It's kind of like a bit of a first walk on the moon, really. You're just not really sure what that's going to look like. So we're going to find out the hard way, and we're going to jump on in. So we're just into the 66, lift up the spreader on the end. It's a good tractor for spreader here, not too heavy, not too big, but plenty powerful, and nice and smooth as well. And if you're booking it around from one field to another, it's got a nice 50k box in there to make the ride all the easier as well, so we'll always take that. What we're going to do though is just pop over and start with this field here. We'll try and get our GPS set up on it as well. That should make things nice and easy. There's a few spots in here which have just failed to germinate actually, so it's kind of looking like it's died off there, which is unfortunate. I guess there can be landing spots for migratory birds there, really, for sparrows or whatnot, so they can use that. There's all three of them in here, which is disappointing to say the least. I don't know if that was that the ground was too wet or we had a bit of a... So perhaps the vario rate didn't actually apply enough seeds per acre there, or square meter in this instance, to get a successful application rate. I don't know, but we'll certainly try and figure that one out, that's for sure. But in we go. Tramlines here also didn't work because I did have that issue with the drill. But we should be past that now, so we're going to turn on our GPS. And we're going to get point A into the books here, and then that should be us good there. Okay, we'll get this headland done. And plastering it along here. Like I say, we're going to go on heavy. Definitely want to put it in heavy here just so we can get a good dose in. And like you say, you really... it's coming along, it's looking okay, but I want this to tiller out a little bit more. I want to get a little bit of a thicker density here, so hopefully we'll see that come through. And then, like I say, we're on to probably T2s, T3s after that stage for the spraying. And then I'll be back in with the combine. So it's all looking pretty good and pretty healthy there so far. So we will we'll see how we get on with this. Just gotta keep a fairly consistent speed, make sure, because it's all going to be applied on at a certain rate out the back door. So you're traveling, you can set up the GPS so it will match the speed and apply more based on speed. I haven't got that done just yet though, so we'll keep it constant speed and we should be looking fine. But yeah, it's come on to, apart from these little barren patches, it's coming on looking pretty good, I think. I'm very happy with it. And then we'll get this done, and then we're, like I say, off to jump into the 77, so it should be a busy day. Just looking to try and get as much work done as I can. We're going to go over to the land that we spread the lime on, or the contractor came in to spread the lime on there. That was very successful, I must say, so we're happy to see how that's coming along. We haven't done anything with them, so we're just going to work that lime in a little bit and see how it's all looking. Okie dokie there. So we'll turn that off. Backwards we come here. Okay, so I think we're all set to go here. We're just pulling onto our next track, and on goes the spreader. And we're away to the races here. This field's not going to take us too long to do at all. Neither is the little patch over the other side. That's only about 4 acres, so we'll book through that one just as quickly as well. And at which point, you know what, that other one's probably going to take one pass for headland there, and we'll be all done. We've got a little bit more that we can do with the grassland. So yeah, what we're looking to do is hopefully get a little bit more muck onto the grassland before it grows too much more, so we can allow it time to rot in there, because we don't want to pick that back up with the forager or the baler. So that will be a plan over there. But if we don't get all of that on, which isn't, given how much we've got, there is a chance we'll look to actually get it applied via man-made fertilizers such as this one. So we've got a few options there. Obviously this is expensive, and if you've got piles and piles of muck, you'd rather use that, I think. But anyway, we'll leave this part here. We'll get this field done, crack on down to farm number 1, where we'll pick up the 77, do a little bit of a swap around with bits of equipment and figure out the next steps from there. But yeah, this is us kind of getting onto the fields for the first time really, in anything other than a plow, which is always exciting to see, and hopefully it won't be the last time anytime soon, because we've got a lot that we need to do. So I'm going to just finish this one up, which I'm already done there really. We'll go and do that other little patch, and then we'll take it back on down the road. Alright, and so we're just going to stick these last 2 bags, now that we've finished it, into the shed out the way here, if we can get them in. Maybe lift them over the 0 graze there very gently before, mind that we don't clip the roof, that would suck. Oh, easy, as he says, as he hits the 0 grazer. Always a higher bar than you think. And hopefully we need to get as much of this fertilizer on the grass so we can actually get some usage with that, guys, this season. It'd be nice to see how that's going to come in. Yo, perfect, because we need to take this JCB down to the farm, because this is staying down at farm 1 these days. So we'll leave the John Deere up here for now. Come and get that one later on, and then we can take the I for Williams trailer down with us as well. And we're away. We'll just do a bit of fiddling around the yard there whilst we're there. Got a few things to show you that we've been working on. We had some contractors coming in recently just to do a little bit of a sort around with some of the water mains for the livestock troughs. They were working. We had it directly hooked up to a pump, you may recall. But what we did was just change that out a little bit and do a few things differently, because that pump was sometimes not working. So I was still having to come out and manually adjust it and manually override the pump, really, I think would be the best way to describe it. And then even after that, I was having to sit there and watch it. So, and it doesn't fill up very quickly because it's supposed to be more of a trickle feed. So we've gone for a big bore pipe really, which should relieve all of those issues there. And it does mean we have to manually turn it on and keep an eye on it for freezing over in the winter there, but it's just going to speed everything up so much. So we're going to look into that one as we when we get back to the yard. Cattle are looking good. We did a bit of cattle work the other day there, weighing them up there. The beef cattle are looking healthy. They're starting to pack on the weight there for where they are in their growth cycle. We'll be keeping them for about another year or so, maybe 3/4 of a year, I'd reckon there. But yeah, they're coming along very nicely indeed. They're really piling on the weight and finishing off quite well at the moment. So we just need to keep that up. Milk quotas are going very well, still producing a healthy amount there, and we're going to start to really see that increase as the dairy cattle venture out more. They'll venture out into the sunlight. The grass that is grown into that sunlight will contain a lot more proteins and sugars, which should then increase the quality and the quantity of the milk that we're receiving. So if that's the case, we should be laughing, really, and hopefully we are. Hopefully we are. Alright, got that composter spread still there as well, but we'll probably leave that another year. Looking to where possible to get a bit more muck put down here, because it does look to me like it's the first lot of slurry we put on here in particular has long since absorbed in. We did put a little bit more muck on here as well. It looks like it's alright. There's still a little bit there. I don't want to put too much down, like I say, because you risk it not decomposing and rotting into the ground. And then you're just going to pull it all back up and make some really poor grade silage there. So if we can avoid that, that's absolutely what we will do. So for right now, just so we get this out of the way, that's my power hour I'm going to stick on for the day. And we're just going to sneak this around here. Lower this down a bit there as well, because I need to creep under the shed. Great visibility out of these new modern day AgriPros there. It's absolutely brilliant. Really, really is. And we'll leave you about there. Perfect stuff. So yeah, like I say, the 68 is still not able to get into the fields yet there. It's still not quite ready to go, but this will be needing a bit of a service up there actually, and a bit of a tidy up before we get going with it, but we'll crack on with that. I want to try and find a set of discs, or not even discs really, just like a good set of Cambridge rollers with like maybe a packer roller on the front or something like that. But we're already off. Perfect. Because if I can find that, then we will be... I'd love to get a set of that. Something like 6 meters wide even. It doesn't have to be too big. It would just really help with this... being able to actually cover some ground on some of the lighter stuff. The ground that we're going to now though does need this. It's pretty big. Not in the best of shape at all there, but we'll have to just give it a once over with this now that we can, and then it'll drill in even better when we come to when we're fortunate enough to get on with it really, I guess. Which I'm hoping, like I say, I keep saying this, but hopefully there's a lot of hope right now that we can get going in the next week or so. That would be ideal. And that's us. Got some beacons on there. Gotta be careful. We've got 4 meters on the back here, so gotta be really careful on the road with this. Really should probably have some sort of escort with me. Oh, we'll just beetle away. And I'm going to try and get through one of the fields out that way today. And then there's 2 over there, 2 biggish fields over there that we need to work on. Haven't been over to them since the contractor was there actually. We have a bit of muck over there. Not a lot, probably just about enough to get going, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then yeah, hopefully there's a bit of grassland over there as well. I'm toying with the idea of there's one grass field, and there's a lot of grass that's I just put it down to set aside really, and I can't do anything with that for a while because it's protected under the stewardship schemes that it's enrolled into there. It's protected for nesting birds in there, so I have to wait until very late on in the summer before I can even touch it. So we'll have to do that. Got to comply with all of these rules, and then we're gonna go this way now. I went the wrong way, I guess. See, things like that you gotta watch out for. It's a bit wide. All right, so like I say, we're off. We're gonna get this done. It's an afternoon of me sat in the power harrow before I can come back in about 3-4 hours time and get a little bit of milking done for the evening there and make sure we're looking okay. So what we'll do at this stage is leave it here. So I hope you have enjoyed. I have been Frank. This has always been the latest episode of A Dairyman's Diary. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Simulation Fallen Nation, and we will see you all in the next one. Till then though, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, and we'll catch you later.